what are your takeaways from the series against the Yankees?
Great that they got the final win. First 2 games remarkably disappointing. You just don't have a lot of games to play with, obviously, right now. 9 more games left in the season. You're 2 games back in the wild card. You've got the Twins and the Tigers in front of you. You feel like, going into this series that realistically you needed 9 or 10 wins at the final 12. So if you were somebody thinking 10 wins, well, that means you got to win the rest. You got to win the next 9. Not likely. Certainly hopeful. But yeah, it was overall glad they got it today. Today was a great game by Logan Gilbert to stay out there and give his team a chance, and the bullpen doing a great job today. But overall, the series disappointing.
Julio or Robles? Whose base running mistake was the worst?
I'm going to say Robles, only because, Julio's was one we hadn't really seen. It was just odd, where I could see confusion of, in terms of wondering, was it a dead ball at that point? Robles, I love him. I love what the guy has brought to this team. It's been amazing. He's been maybe their most consistent player since he's come here. Problem was they were facing a pitcher who could not find the strike zone. You had the bases loaded. You had a 3-0 count on Turner and 2 outs. You can't make the final out of the inning at trying to steal home. You got to allow that pitcher to walk him in because he could not find the strike zone. So in that setting, I just thought, look, I love aggressive. I love the energy that Robles brings. Really bad decision.
Have any Mariners players been silver linings of late?
You see moments. I don't know about day in, day out. You're still waiting for that consistency. I mean, Luke Raley was outstanding today. Came up with a hit, or the bunt was fantastic. The throw from the outfield, which saved a run, cut a run down at the plate. They win by a run, so that was a huge moment. He's kind of, we talked about this before, of all the new acquisitions, that came in the offseason. He's the guy that's actually lived up to and exceeded a bit of who he was prior to him getting here. We're disappointed with guys that didn't live up to the back of the baseball card, like Garver or Polanco or Haniger, or, we can go down the list of guys that didn't step up. Look, Luke Raley's got a new career high in home runs. He's played more than he has in any season, and he's been valuable. He's been a guy that's actually lived up to it. So for the season of new acquisitions, I would say him. Robles has been a silver lining since they picked him up, because he's a guy that was DFA'd and for whatever reason didn't really happen for him in Washington, and he's been a spark since he's been here.
Give us your thought about the spot the Mariners have put themselves with 9 games left to go in the season.
It's frustrating. It's hard. In talking to the players, they keep talking about, look, we can't look back and lament what we didn't do or what happened in the past. All we can do is look at the game in front of us, and that's the right approach for a player, for the organization. Just focus on the next game. You've only got 9 to work with, and this isn't I told you so. I just said earlier in the season, I don't want to be in a position where you're once again looking at other teams going, all right, we need this team to lose, we need that team to win, we need this team. You're looking for all this help from everybody else when you had it in your hands. It's going to be hard to get past the idea that you had a 10-game lead in the division in the middle of June, and now we're coming down to single-digit games, and we're counting on hopefully the Twins can continue to slide, and hopefully this team can beat the Astros when they play them, or this team beats the Tigers, or we're rooting for other teams to help the M's, and that's a really frustrating spot to be in.